Welcome to the Positively West Virginia podcast. I'm Nick, sitting in for Jim Matuga, and today we're coming to you from the 2026 Bridging Innovation Week conference here in Morgantown. This event brings together founders, leaders, and organizations from across the state who are all playing a role in shaping West Virginia's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Throughout the day, we're sitting down with a series of voices from that ecosystem to talk about what they're building, how things are evolving, and where they see real opportunity ahead. Right now, we're joined by our first guest, Catherine Reed, Senior Director of Field and Campaign Strategy at Right to Start. Thank you for joining us, Catherine.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Positively West Virginia. Positively West Virginia.
Positively West Virginia is powered by BreezeLine high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, Humble Influence, and the West Virginia Lottery. With the help of these sponsors, we're able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one from today's episode.
So, high level, this is going to be a brief interview with you. And so I've got some important questions I'd love to ask you. Kind of central to the PWV Hart is talking about our stories. And so that's really my first question. Can you give us the quick version of your story and how you got here to this moment?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. So I work for a national organization, nonprofit called Right to Start. And Right to Start works to elevate entrepreneurship as a civic priority. And we do that through three pillars. One is changing communities. And that's the work that I lead, where across the country, we're building coalitions of ecosystems, much like that exists already in West Virginia. We do it through media and storytelling, and we also do it through policy change. And my story is really the work in West Virginia began with a collaboration in Huntington. And we had an advocate on the ground there, Ariana, who is now head of Tech Connect, some of you may know, and working with Amber and Tara and the ecosystem in the state to really understand the barriers that entrepreneurs face in West Virginia, and really listening to understand how we could unlock change and policy change. And so 2 years ago came to Bridging Innovation conference with some colleagues. Our founder and CEO, Victor Wong, had a fireside chat with Brad Smith from Marshall University. And we talked about some of the policy ideas that we have to help entrepreneurs thrive in cities and states, and began the connections here really that have led to the kind of current moment where we're here now at Bridging Innovation celebrating the passage of the Office of Entrepreneurship bill.
Yeah, very important things. Can I just ask, because you have an accent, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from the UK. I've been in the US for over 20 years. I came first as a student, and ended up staying. I spent some time in Washington, D.C. I've always worked on building coalitions, bringing people together, mission-driven work. And I joined Right to Start 4 years ago, really understanding little about entrepreneurship before that. But once I realized what a driver of economic growth it is, how it has the opportunity to really change communities, for every 1% entrepreneurial activity in a state correlates to a 2% reduction in poverty. And those are many of the things I'd been working on throughout my career: economic opportunity and inequality and helping communities. And I was like, what better issue to work on? And so I've spent time with Right to Start helping them build their grassroots and grass tops work across the country. And it's just thrilling to be in a state like West Virginia and to be at Bridging Innovation where people get that. Right. They understand the power of entrepreneurship, and they want to work together. Sometimes, ecosystems can be siloed. I don't get that sense in West Virginia at all. People are like all driven with the mission to make this state a better place. And it's really exciting to be around people like that.
Yeah, I've got friends who often remark that West Virginia is just one big small town. There is something to collaboration, teamwork, family, working together for a central cause. Thank you for that answer. So where exactly do you plug into, you've alluded to some of it in your previous answer, but just into West Virginia's entrepreneurship ecosystem, and how has it been as a resource to you, or how have you invested into it as a resource for West Virginians? Yeah,
we really come as a national organization. We just want to share best practices and ideas. And so we worked with, Amber and Tara and Ariana, our advocate. Also, Mark Burdett from the small business offices is an ambassador of ours. There's Trisha Ball now from Marshall Eye Center. So we really just plug into the local community and offer kind of like his ideas, his policies, his best practices that we've seen successful in other states. What would work. And we never assume to know. We want to just understand an ecosystem and work with people on the ground. What would be resonant here, what would work, what would support entrepreneurs. And Secretary Warner was at the Bridging Innovation conference in his previous capacity before he was elected Secretary of State. And I think the idea of an Office of Entrepreneurship, a place where you can have a voice for entrepreneurs within government. It can see across government. It can cut red tape. It can be that voice of entrepreneurs. That really, it clicked for him. And so once he was in place as Secretary of State, he sort of said, like, help me what that looks like. And so we were just able to kind of provide those ideas and support from other states where we've seen this work. And we look forward to continuing that work with the Secretary to say, okay, now you've got this office in place. How can we support you with best practices from around the country, with lessons learned from other states that have done this? But West Virginia is unique because this is the first place that the office will be within a Secretary of State's office. And it's just perfect here because this is where businesses register. So you're really capturing entrepreneurs on the ground floor.
Right.
So we're excited to continue the work in West Virginia for many years to come to support the ecosystem, support this new office in its first few years.
So you have kind of a national perspective based upon the company that you work for, the organization. From that national lens, and then the little that you've done in West Virginia at this point, what is West Virginia getting right when it comes to entrepreneurialism? And then maybe like the inverse of that, where does West Virginia still need to catch up, so that it can play with the big players nationally in this space?
Yeah, I think Bridging Innovation is a perfect example and the week of what it's getting right. Just having the ecosystem across a full week, really with the opportunities it presents for entrepreneurs and resource providers to connect, to have like really quality time, to learn, to listen, to be together, to provide opportunities for entrepreneurs. I think that's just, other states may have a day conference here, but I don't know many others that have that full week of time together. So I think Bridging Innovation, and also, of course, we talked about before the fact that this ecosystem is one that wants to work together. There are a lot of resource providers who are all eager and active to get entrepreneurs to be successful. I think many states obviously have a lot to learn, and one of the ways that we can offer that is through, this kind of connecting the West Virginia with other states to see, what might be a good idea, that policy change can happen. I think all states have, a lot of regulation or tax burdens that can get in the way of new and young companies. We, promote other policies that support new and young companies because the first 5 years are really the critical years in the life of a new business. And so we bring in ideas like 5% to start, which is reserving 5% of government contracts for new and young companies because a government contract can be the life-changing experience for a new business and really help it on its trajectory. And so every state has, even those that come first in kind of entrepreneurship or business, everybody has something to learn. And the good news for West Virginia is they're obviously very willing to say, look, we want to get better, we want to improve, bring ideas and evidence from other states and data and best practices. And so that's why we're just eager to plug further in to be able to help the ecosystem here learn from others. And so I think that really sets West Virginia apart.
Really last question that I have prepared, putting yourself sort of into the mind of a West Virginia entrepreneur. Let's fast forward a few years. If things go right, what do you think this ecosystem will look like?
Yeah, I think it's already we've seen the change, right? In that the ecosystem is now, Amber's, it's like a formalized nonprofit organization. You've got a lot of new people that are coming to Bridging Innovation and Learning. So I think it's really just continuing that model of being so welcoming, being willing to learn and listen. We want to make sure that also ecosystem here learns from other places. And as a national organization, we can help make those connections. It's like what's going on live in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have a ecosystem event. I would love to get Amber and Tara and others from, come to North Carolina, learn. I want North Carolinians to come here, right? Like, so that cross-pollination to learn from each other. But I think it's on such solid footing that it's a really exciting time. Colleagues of ours at the Institute for Justice, Cities Work Program, they're working with 5 cities in West Virginia, cities that want to make it easier to start and grow a business. And so you've obviously just got a mindset here that people are like, yes, we want to know how to support entrepreneurship, and I think if that continues, we'll see a lot of positive benefits for West Virginians, because who doesn't want a new business in their town? And one of the things is that, of course, in a state, not every part of a state is going to attract new business, but every part of a state can benefit from entrepreneurship. And that's really the message that we bring as an organization. Yeah,
that's well said. Very lovely and easy to talk to. Thank you for joining us. Anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to also say for those West Virginians that are interested in learning more about supporting entrepreneurship, I welcome them to check out americatheentrepreneur.org. It's a national campaign that we've launched to really promote entrepreneurship across the country on the anniversary of the US founding, 250th. And this is obviously the greatest startup of all time. And so we want to continue to promote entrepreneurship and make it a tier 1 issue for because I think many people just don't know that it's power to be a force for good. We did a poll a few years ago that showed only 18% of the public know that it's new and young companies that are the greatest source of net new jobs. So we've got to educate others, right, across West Virginia, across the country, about entrepreneurship, about innovation, about why it's important and can help all people. So I invite people to check out America the Entrepreneurial and to sign up and become a founder of the campaign and to support us in our work.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank our partners, Humble Influence, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, Highmark, West Virginia, the West Virginia Lottery, Interaction Media, and our studio sponsor BreezeLine for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positivelywv.com/sponsor.